What is up, everyone? Welcome to episode 22 of What's in the Box Score. I am your host, Rick Wiener, joined as always by my cohort, Mr. Mark Rollins. I know it looks like I'm sitting in a dark closet with no lights on. I swear to you, there is a light right there. It is hot. It is shining on my face. I ordered all new stuff. It hasn't shown up yet. Thank you, Amazon. Mark, how you doing? Hopefully better than me.
I'm doing pretty well. I was out working all day and just got home. I've got a nice beverage here, and then I'm ready to talk some baseball.
Excellent. While you were out, looking all spiffy in your polo shirt, Shohei Ohtani made some history at Fenway Park. For the first pitcher since 1919 to bat in the top four at Fenway Park. Obviously, we're talking about Babe Ruth. First person since Babe Ruth to do that. And while he was at Fenway, he decided to throw 81 of 99 pitches, 4 strikes, and hit a ball so hard that it hit the scoreboard off the monster and knocked his number 17 off the scoreboard.
Did he really?
Yes, he did.
Oh, my God.
Shohei Ohtani is a cheat code.
He's not only a cheat code, he's legitimately, at what point, when do we get to the point when it's like he's the most talented baseball player ever?
I don't know. I think we have...
Just in terms of pure talent, what he can do on a baseball field.
Yeah, it's freakish. He's most of us have never seen this. I'm sure there's one or two people alive that saw Ruth do it.
Yeah, but it wasn't, he never batted that consistently and pitched that consistently at the same time.
Yeah, but see, that's where it gets tough when you're talking, you're comparing different eras.
Yeah.
It was a completely different game back then.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, the way that we talk about Ohtani, and they're just like, whoa. I'm sure the people back then were just like, what is this?
Yeah.
This guy's not human. He's not supposed to be able to do this.
Especially when you're fat and eating hot dogs in between innings and drinking
smoking
beer.
Cigars and, enjoying the company of hookers on the train in between games. Hey, all more power to him. That's why he's the babe.
I think it's more impressive.
I agree. I agree. When you look like John Goodman and Roseanne and you can do that.
Yeah.
That says something. It also says something when a umpire holds the hand of a starting pitcher and stares longingly into his eyes like he's about to propose marriage. What in the hell is going on with the umpires in this league? Why do I despise them all?
It was what's it, Ryan Hillis, I think his name is.
I refuse to even bother to look up his name.
That was one of the funniest things because Mad Bum, he stares down umpires, he talks shit. That's what he's done for a decade plus. We're going on year 12, year 13 of Mad Bum at this point, I think. And he's done it the entire time. But watching the umpire just stare him dead in the eyes, just right into his eyes, and massage his hand. That was a massage. It was. And massage his hand for a good 25 seconds was so goddamn funny. And did you hear did you see what Mad Bum's actual quotes were?
I don't think I did.
So first, when he's doing the thing to his hand, he goes, "Yeah, just take your fucking time." And then Hillis is still looking him dead in the eye. And then as he's walking away, what got him tossed was he said, "If you want to play this little piggy, go back down to the fucking minors where the kids are."
Okay, that one I did hear. That one I did hear. Good on Mad Bum.
Yeah, good on him. And that umpire was called up from the minors a week ago. He's basically getting a stint in the major leagues. He's mainly a minor league umpire.
Well, send him. He doesn't even go to the minors.
Yeah,
he should be sent to T-ball.
Go back to the fucking minors if you want to play Three Little Piggies, because that's where the kids
I mean,
are.
I thought the agreement we had with the umpires was that Joe West leaves, and it's no longer about you. We
And
can
Angel
actually get back to
Hernandez
playing
still
baseball.
exists, so
Yeah, but Angel Hernandez, he sucks, so it becomes about him. But he never openly makes it about him.
no,
Not
that
like
was
Joe West,
no,
who
that was
thought he was Enrico Palazzo in Naked Gun, where he was the star of the show. You know, like that. It was the Joe West show.
yeah.
The baseball was just an afterthought.
You
Like,
see, he's
no,
got a podcast now.
oh
Did we
yeah, I
talk about
can't.
that? Yeah,
I can't bring myself to listen to it.
we got to get Cowboy Joe on the show. He can promote his podcast. No, but it's like, yeah, it's been the ump show all season.
Yeah, like it's bad enough that the calls are so bad.
Yeah.
And did you see Jeff Passan's article when he was looking into
the strike zone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That the box
2 inches?
Yeah, that the box we see on TV is complete bullshit. It doesn't actually exist. And that there's a 2-inch leeway. So, I mean, 2 inches is a lot of fucking inches when you're talking about a baseball.
Mm-hmm.
They got to figure this out, because if they want to destroy this game, they're doing a really good job.
Yeah, I mean, that strike zone thing is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, 2 inches on either side of the plate. Like, listen, we're not watching Maddox anymore, where he's getting balls that are 8 inches inside or outside called for strikes. All right, the 90s were a different time. We have the capability of calling accurate balls and strikes.
Yeah, we also have the capability of determining whether a ball was fair or foul. They can't figure that out either.
Yeah, was that in Oakland? I saw a clip of that where a ball was a good 3 inches foul and it was called fair.
It was the Mets-Braves game.
Oh, it was the Mets-Braves game. That's
Dansby
right.
Swanson hit a ball that literally bounced foul before it crossed third base, and they ruled it fair, and it was a double.
Yeah.
But I mean, maybe the 2-inch leeway that they give the umps for strikes, maybe it goes for fair and foul too.
Maybe it does. Maybe maybe it goes for safe and out at first base too.
I mean, this is not politically correct, but I don't care. So apologies to whoever's watching this if you're offended, but maybe that's something the umps use in the bedroom too. Hey, I got 2 inches to play with. I might be 3, but I'm going to say 5.5.
There we go.
That's the limits of this.
That's a little outside of the zone. That extra half inch really makes a difference.
I mean, I am so sick and tired of these fucking bozos, man. I really am. It makes the game so hard to watch.
There's like 3 good umpires left.
Yeah, and most of them are brand new.
Yeah, and most of them are new.
I think it's ump scorecards on Twitter.
It is.
I forget. Okay,
it's one of my favorite Twitter follows. I check all of them.
But like, he posts on a daily basis, like the graph of the guys that are getting things right and the guys that are getting things wrong most often, and it's always the younger guys, except for dipshit McGee with Mad Bum the other day, that are getting the calls right.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a great account. If you're a baseball fan and you're not following this, you're doing it wrong.
Oh, that's a good game by Chris Guccione.
Yeah, and I mean, Guccione's been around for a little while.
Yeah, that's a solid game.
That is a solid game.
Boy. Greg Gibson, not the call strike accuracy.
What kind of a strike zone is that?
What is that? Some of those.
You know what these remind me of? It's like I forget the name of the thing. Like whatever the test is, where you walk into a shrink's office and they hold up like the ink splot.
Yeah,
it's like, what does this remind you of?
Yeah,
yeah. That's it. It's just like you look at this and it's like, well, what does that remind you of? A butterfly? No, it's a strike zone. Like nobody. If I was a shrink and I showed this to someone and they're like, oh, that reminds me of a strike zone, I have them committed immediately. Be like, you don't get to leave. The men with the coats are coming, and be very nice, and we'll go to a padded room.
We'll get Junior Valentine. Called ball accuracy. Mwah. Beautiful. Called strike accuracy. 81. Terrible.
And look, I get it. It's not an easy thing to do.
No, it's
Nobody's saying that being an umpire and calling balls and strikes is an easy thing to do. It's not. Like, it's hard enough to hit a ball, much less see it. Oh, God. Oh, jeez. Oh, boy. Brian and Nora.
74%.
I mean,
At
that's,
least,
that's passing in, like, 8th grade biology.
at least it was like consistently bad because it was only 0.16 runs in favor of the Mets. At least
okay.
like everyone was getting shit calls. But 74%?
Yeah, I mean, Jesus, this is just, they're getting worse. And they, like, the more that I see these, the more I'm like, all right, screw it. Robot umps, let's go.
Yeah. I'm yeah.
Like, I've been against it since they started talking about it, but what, 0.63? Who was that gave another team basically a full run?
Jim Wolf.
Who did he give that to? The what?
He gave it
Oakland.
to Oakland, and they lost by 3.
To be fair, Oakland needs all the help it can get. So,
Yeah.
like, I'm okay with that one. But, like, come on.
There was one recently that was like 1.4. It was unbelievable.
And of course, Clown Prince Manfred and his merry band of morons have nothing to say about this. Nothing at all.
Oh, here's a good one.
Oh, wow. Sean Barber.
0.9.
Maybe he needs to go to the barber because, maybe his hair's in his way.
Yeah, his hair's getting in his eyes.
I don't know. And honestly, it's getting hard to care. And that's a sad thing to say.
Oh, that's good. That's a well-called game.
Yeah, and look, like, it's, again, nobody's saying it's easy, but this is your job. You have to be better at it.
Yeah, that's the thing is, we're never gonna. Oh boy, who's this? Yeah, geez.
Yeah, sorry, pal, you suck.
Yeah, we're not gonna sit here and say that being an umpire is an easy job. Because it very much isn't.
And yes, Bojo 42, since he needs all these contributed runs, as many as they can get, they absolutely need all the run help that they can get.
I didn't even see Josh was here. I was too busy on Twitter.
Yeah, just off. Just terrible. Speaking of terrible, something that could have been terrible and actually turned into something pretty good. Mets got rid of Robbie Cano, don't you know?
They did. Yes, they did. And it. Oh, wait, I found the one I was looking for.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
There. Oh, geez. Who was that? Larry
Vanover.
Larry's been around for a while. Maybe Larry needs a new prescription or something.
1.2 runs for the White Sox.
I mean, the White Sox haven't been, world beaters, so they also need some help.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's just inexcusable.
That's actively swaying the game in one direction.
Like my 3-week-old nephew could be just as accurate. Ashton, here's a box. I know you don't know what a box is, but just tell me when something goes, laugh or spit or puke or kick your foot anytime something goes in that square. And he could do it more accurately than Larry Vanover.
Yeah.
It is awful, awful, awful. But yeah, I mean, good on Uncle Steve for just saying, hey, I want to win baseball games. I don't care how much money it costs me.
Yeah.
That's a nice change for the Mets.
Did you see that meme going around where they said he sent the bill to Brodie Van Wagenen?
No, but he should. I mean, Brodie already made a ton of money off of that deal.
Oh, yeah. Didn't he also used to be Cano's agent?
He was Cano's agent who negotiated that deal with the Mariners to begin with, him and Jay-Z. Yeah. Then he became the Mets GM, traded for the guy that he negotiated the deal for, got fired, and is now his agent again.
Oh, he's back to being his agent?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, no. Apparently, as soon as he got fired by the Mets, he went right back to all his old clients.
Of course he did.
Yeah, because, I mean, he's already come out and said, Robbie understands, and, He's he's looking forward to contributing in the right situation. Your client sucks. If he's not using steroids, he sucks.
Wasn't he actually hitting the ball halfway decent this year?
I think he was hitting like $120.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he wasn't hitting very well.
Oh yeah, he was hitting $195.
Okay, I'm sorry. Much better than the $120 I gave him.
No, for some reason I thought he would. I thought he was having a better start to the year. Than
Yeah,
that.
no, he's been objectively awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, $195 with a 501 OPS, 11
Yeah.
strikeouts, and 41 at bats. Like,
yeah, no, Robbie, you had a great run. People got all hyped for you to be in the Hall of Fame when you were on the Yankees, and then
you started using steroids and got caught twice. So, bye. You know, I will give the Mets credit aside from just saying screw the money, we just want to win. That it seems like they kind of checked with the guys in that clubhouse before they made the move.
Yeah, and that was a big thing. You mentioned it when we were talking on the Manchild show. He's part of why Starling Marte went there. Like he's very much beloved in the clubhouse. Yeah. And so that is a big deal when you let a guy like that go. We can talk about the numbers all we want, but there is something to be said about veteran leadership in a clubhouse, especially one like that. You've got guys like Lindor and Dom Smith and, some younger guys that, could really benefit from that veteran leadership. And they've got more leadership in there. Marte's been around a long time. Eduardo Escobar, Scherzer, and of course Buck at the helm. But there's plenty of veterans to go around there. But I was honestly kind of surprised that Cano ended up being the one getting the axe. I thought they might have optioned is Dom Smith out of options? He might be.
I'll tell you in a second. I'm not sure. Pull it up.
But yeah, I thought they might have optioned somebody down to Syracuse, or there were a few ways I thought they could have gone with it. So I was kind of surprised it was Cano, but
Dom still has 2 options left.
Oh, okay.
Dom, the only batters that on the 40-man that have on the active roster that have options left are Alonso. He's not going anywhere.
No.
McNeil, he's not going anywhere. Dom has 2. JD Davis has 2, and Luis Guillorme has 1.
Yeah, Guillorme is the one that I was thinking maybe they could option him because,
but they really can't because he's the only middle infielder that they have on the bench.
True.
Because after him, you have Tomas Nido, who's the backup catcher, JD Davis, who's a corner infielder, and Travis Jankowski, who's an outfielder.
Yeah, you're right. It's just. Hasn't JD Davis been playing like shit too?
I don't think he's played all that well. But then again, I don't think he's actually played all that much.
Fair.
I just closed that. So let me open it back up. JD Davis, 15 games. He's hitting 200 with a 663 OPS. So better than Cano.
Yeah, better than Cano.
Not
marginally,
much,
but better.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it was kind of surprising, but I think it was the right move. I
agree
that paying him that's one of those situations. It's almost better to pay him to play for somebody else.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I saw some idiots come back to the Yankees. Why? What is he gonna do for the Yankees?
Yeah, just what the Yankees need, another guy that doesn't hit for a very high average and can't really play defense anymore.
Yeah, so we're going to bring him back, and then, guess who that's going to either push DJ into an even more useless role.
Yeah.
Push Glaber out, which people will lose their shit for, even though I think Glaber's just overrated. I don't see it with him. It doesn't make sense. Let Robbie Cano go.
Yeah.
He's not the guy you remember. That guy's gone.
Oh yeah. Well,
you want to bring back somebody from the past? I'd sooner bring back Alfonso Soriano. And he hasn't played in 5-6 years?
Close to it. Yeah.
keep Robbie Cano as far away from the Bronx as humanly possible.
Mm-hmm.
You were talking about Buck in his leadership. I think he's probably arguably the best Mets manager since Davey Johnson. Am I out of line for saying that?
I am a big Terry Collins guy.
I like Terry Collins too. That's fair.
He was never really given enough to work with. But I do think Terry Collins was a really good manager who did the best he could with not a lot in most cases. And it's tough when you've got such a great starting rotation for that many years and none of them stay healthy. So I'd give Terry Collins some props, but
all right. Well, then since Terry for sure.
Since Terry for sure, but I'd say Buck is better than Terry, so I would probably say since Davey Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, and I love Bobby V as much as the next person.
Don't.
He might be the most entertaining manager of all time.
That's fair.
Not saying he's a great manager, but as far as entertainment value, I mean, you can't beat him. But yeah, I mean, Buck has really changed the aura around this team. It's changed.
Absolutely.
Like the Mets they're gonna you can take shots at them, but they're gonna swing back.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that with all the hit by pitches.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that when Pete Alonso basically said, if I want to rip Stubby Clapp in half, I'm going to rip Stubby Clapp in half, and there ain't nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
And I'm late to this party. I heard this the other day, and I had to scratch my head. When did they start calling Pete Alonso a polar bear, and why is he stealing Evan Gattis's nickname? Evan Gattis was the original El Oso Blanco.
Yeah, but it's in Spanish. It's a little different. Pete Alonso's always been the polar bear. I actually have a bobblehead over there. Actually, I'm going to grab it because it's very cool. So talk about the weather for a second or something.
It's hot outside. It's even hotter where I'm sitting because I have a light right next to me that you can't tell is on because I'm in basically pitch black. That's my weather report. It's hot.
It's a Pete Alonso polar bear Binghamton Rumble Ponies bobblehead.
That's pretty cool.
Where his legs are polar bear legs.
Oh wow, that's awesome. That's very cool. Wow, look at you with the merch right there.
Yeah, I am a big bobblehead guy. I did go to a Binghamton Rumble Ponies game just to get that bobblehead. It's okay. Bojo said he didn't know he was the polar bear either.
Well, thank you.
Josh is a casual. But...
Thank you, Bojo. I don't feel so stupid now. I have one bobblehead. I do not know where it is. I don't know if I've seen it in the past 5 years. It is, or it was, of Bobby Nystrom of the Islanders. I don't know where I got it because it certainly wasn't at an Islander game. It just somehow wound up on a shelf one day. I may have taken it from someone's house accidentally. I don't know. I don't know where it is, so I'm not going to go look for it now.
I've got probably 25.
You have a problem, sir.
Yeah, I collect things. I have way too many different things.
Oh, I collect things. But okay, Bojo, you're done. That's just inexcusable.
He's a big Reds fan.
Adam Jay Bruce bobblehead I'd sign off on. Adam Dunn.
What's your problem with Adam Dunn? I love the big donkey.
What is it? Why are we appropriating animals now? We have polar bears and donkeys.
I think that was a Hawk Harrelson nickname. I think he used to be
another one. Hawk. I will not stand for this. I will walk off this show right now. If this
Peter's
continues
gonna get
anymore.
on her ass.
Yeah, and I got Peter knocking on my fucking door. My dog is gonna refuse to go out for his last wee and poop. He's just gonna say, "Fuck you, pal. I'm doing it on the living room floor." You're gonna keep using our names. Like, thanks a lot, Mark. Appreciate it.
I've got
you come clean the stain up.
I'll drive down there to clean up your dog shit stain.
Thank you very much. Marco appreciates it.
I've got a Nolan Arenado Gold Glove minor bobblehead, so he's got like a pickaxe with a bunch of gold gloves on it.
Oh wow.
I've got a Deion Sanders Syracuse Sky Chiefs bobblehead because
Holy
primetime
shit.
played for Syracuse.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you have some cool bobbleheads.
I
Not
do.
like an
I've got
Adam
some
Dunn
cool
bobblehead.
ones. Yeah. I've also got like Grady Sizemore, but
Look, I thought Grady Sizemore was going to be Mike Trout before Mike Trout was Mike Trout.
me too.
I
love Grady
Sizemore.
Sizemore.
Absolutely,
He's one of my
loved it.
favorite players ever.
Yeah,
I've got his rookie autograph. I've got a bunch of Grady Sizemore stuff.
Okay, I didn't go, that far with it, but I did. I was a big Grady Sizemore fan. But we were talking about Buck Showalter, and the reason I bought a Buck was because Dusty Baker just got his 2000th win. So props to Dusty, who is criminally underrated and has been for a long time.
I love Dusty.
Do you think we will see another manager get 2,000 wins? Nobody is particularly close. Terry Francona is the next closest as far as active managers go with 1793. Buck is at 1569. Joe Madden, 1371. Bob Melvin, 1362. And then you go down to Joe Girardi at 1109.
I'd say Melvin's got a shot.
You think Melvin has a shot?
Just because he's the youngest of that group and he's got a lot of wins already.
Yeah, I think I would love to say it's going to be Buck or Francona, but I don't think either one's going to stick around long enough to get there.
If Tito didn't have as many health problems as he does, I would say it's him.
Yeah.
But that heart condition, he misses games every year for like some sort of surgery. And so I don't know how much longer Tito is going to stick around. Buck, I think, could stick around that much longer, but I think it really depends on how this first contract with the Mets goes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much longer he wants to do it.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. How old is Buck nowadays?
Buck is he's only 65. I thought he was older than that.
He's only 65?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, he looks 78.
Well, when you begin your career with the ball, George Steinbrenner Yankees, you age fairly quickly.
Oh, then I would say Buck's got a legitimate shot.
Yeah,
he's only 65.
I will second that.
Yeah.
I skipped over Tony La Russa. He already has 2,000. He's at 28-32. He's not catching Connie Mack. Connie Mack is number one. 3,
I think La Russa's lucky if he makes it through this season.
Yeah, Connie Mack's got 3,700 wins.
Yeah.
Tony La Russa needs 900 more wins.
This brings up something I sent this to Josh and the other Hot Stove guys the other day, and I need you to see this because this is unbelievable to me. So I zoom in on this here. Get the 12 guys with 2,000 wins. I share my screen. StreamYard changed a little bit, so I can't just switch tabs anymore when I'm sharing my screen.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Is there anything that sticks out to you about the 12 guys with 2,000 wins?
There's 2 of them aren't in the Hall of Fame.
Well, yes, but Bruce Bochy is the only one without a tie in a sport with no ties.
Oh, wow. Yeah. How does that happen? Where the hell did ties come from?
So, from the minimal research I did,
Joe Torre has 6 ties? I don't remember Joe Torre having any ties.
Yeah. So
I don't think I've ever seen Joe Torre wearing a tie, much less managing a game with a tie.
Yeah. Tony La Russa, an active manager, has 4.
Are they counting games that are called because of rain as a tie?
Well, that's the thing, is the most recent tie I found was in 2007. And that was the case where a game was played for 5 1/3 innings and was called due to rain, and they decided to not make it up. So that is declared a tie because they played enough innings for it to be declared an official game. But Bruce Bochy is the only manager with 2,000 wins and 0 ties.
That is wild. Now I got to look. Buck Showalter has 1 tie.
Yes.
Wow. Bob Melvin, no ties. Him and Bruce Bochy.
Him and Poach there. But like so many, like Lupinello and Tito don't. Sosha didn't. Lewin has 2.
Connie Mack has 76.
Yeah, Connie Mack has 76. It's so funny. John McGraw has 58.
Does anyone have? I gotta look on my screen. Does anyone have 100? No. Connie Mack has the most at 76.
Yeah, I now have them sorted by ties.
That's insane. That is insane. Oh, here we go. Here's a trivia question for you or Josh or whoever wants to chime in here. Which manager is the all-time leader in ejections?
Bobby Cox.
Not even close. It is Bobby Cox. 162.
Yep.
Number 2 is John McGraw, 121.
He's got 41 more than John McGraw.
Yeah. Actually, there's only 3 managers with triple digits. Those 2 and then Leo DeRocher with 100 on the nose.
Leo was someone I was thinking of. But yeah, Cox got ejected like once a week, it seemed.
Yeah, and it was like he got annoyed if somebody didn't throw him out of the game.
Yeah. My favorite ejection ever, by the way, is Joe Madden. When he was managing, I want to say it was when he was with the Rays. He went out to the mound and he was like, I'm just going to talk to you for a minute. He was talking to the pitcher. He goes, I'm just going to talk to you for a minute. So when the umpire comes, I'm going to get ejected. I'm going to go back into the clubhouse. I'm going to drink a glass of wine and watch you guys win this game. And umpire comes out to be like, hey, speed up the meeting. And Joe Madden turns around and starts screaming in his fucking face. He's like, just going to be calm for now. But once he comes out here, I'm going to start yelling and I'm going to get ejected. And the umpire comes out, you fucking idiot. Very funny.
I mean, you got to give Joe Madden credit. You know, he's whether you love him or you hate him, he is very creative when it comes to all things baseball.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my favorite ejection. I mean, just take your pick of Billy Martin ejections. I mean, he'd pick up bases, he'd throw shit at the umps, kick dirt on them. Like you don't see that anymore.
Lloyd McClendon's got a great one too when he picks up first base and walks away with it.
Yeah. I mean, Aaron Boone, his ejections are no fun.
No, he's just like, we're good. You should call better pitches.
Yeah, I had one at bat that everyone remembers. And my family's baseball lifers. You suck.
I'm the worst Boone.
I'm the worst of the Boones, and my brother used steroids, and he's still better than me.
Was Brett a steroid guy?
Yeah, he was one of. He got. I don't think he ever got like suspended, but he was on one of the lists that came out.
Yeah, like the Metro Report or something.
Yeah, like I don't remember which one it was, but he was definitely there. God, I hate Aaron Boone. Yeah, I don't. There's really nothing else. It's like super worth going into. I feel like the Yankees, their winning streak came to an end. We knew that was going to happen
eventually.
They weren't going to win every game between now and the rest of the season. Ohtani's a freak. Let's see. The Mets are losing 5-0 in the second after 2 innings. So I'm glad to see Taijuan Walker is back in midseason form for them. And
well, we can get into those awards if you would.
Yes, let's get you wanted to do this last week and we completely forgot about it.
Yeah.
So we're not going to forget about it this week. Why don't you take the reins on this one?
So if Josh is still watching, we did just do this on Hot Stove. I don't know if that's been posted. So maybe this is going up first, and Hot Stove stole our idea. The other show that
That's fine. Bunch of
um
thieves and hot stuff.
yeah. But so basically, we got this from John Boy Media on Twitter, who John Boy is obviously awesome.
Oh, yes. Oh, did you see the thing about John Boy today?
No, I didn't.
They secured another $5 million in financing.
Did they really?
Yeah.
That company's going to the moon, man.
Yeah, John
They're
Boy
doing
is a
so
freaking
well.
genius.
But yeah, so this is from John Boy on Twitter, and we've added a couple that that we want to talk about. And so it's just MLB Superlatives that there's a list. We've got favorite player of all time, favorite on that's currently on your team, favorite current player that's not on your favorite team, a player that's growing on us, underrated, overrated, and what we were calling the Travis Ishikawa Award, which I will explain when we get there. So Rick, I feel like you've talked enough on this show. Your favorite player of all time is
Donald Arthur Mattingly.
yes.
I mean, he's the greatest first baseman who ever lived, not named Lou Gehrig, and I will die on that hill.
Interesting. I tend to have a couple of counter arguments, but
I will not entertain your counters because they're all wrong.
Albert Pujols does exist.
No, he doesn't. He's a DH. He's not a first baseman.
He was a first baseman for a long time.
He didn't have a glove like Mattingly.
That's fair.
Mattingly should have won 9 Gold Gloves in a row, but they decided one year that the uber athletic and rangy Mark McGwire was deserving of a Gold Glove. You remember Mark McGwire, don't you? The man who had the agility of a tree.
Man was a redwood playing first.
Don Mattingly had no back, and he was still making plays that people weren't supposed to make.
Fair. For me, I feel like I've mentioned it on the show before. It's Theodore Samuel Williams, Teddy Ball Game. I don't have my prop with me. When we talked about this on Hot Stove, I said he literally wrote the book on hitting, and I have a copy of The Science of Hitting.
Yes, but do you have a Ted Williams bobblehead? I
do not have a Ted Williams bobblehead.
Well, I mean, you can literally go find the man's head. It's not
this is true.
Body. What kind of a fan are you?
I could steal Ted Williams' frozen head and put it on a mannequin and call it a Ted Williams bobblehead.
No, put it on the shelf. They don't need a mannequin. Put it right on the shelf.
It's like Futurama.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody's in a jar.
I do have a Ted Williams.
Richard Nixon.
I do have a Ted Williams autograph though, and it is my prized possession.
That's awesome.
I just got it this past Christmas, and I bawled my eyes out. It's one of the greatest presents I've ever received. It's a very nice print of a painting that has his face and him swinging the bat, because I always said I wanted a signed picture of him swinging the bat, because no one had a more beautiful swing in the history of baseball than Ted Williams.
Yes, I do have a autograph of Don Mattingly. It is not on a picture. It is on a game-used batting glove. It is not in this location. It is in a secure location because I do not trust myself nor the people that enter this place to be near it. So somewhere tucked away where nobody can get to it except for 2 people who couldn't possibly care less that it's in existence.
Yeah. So those are our favorite players of all time. Now, your favorite player currently on the Yankees.
This is tough. I mean, the obvious answer is Judge, but he's not it. It's not him. I think it's got to be Nasty Nestor.
That's a great pick.
I love Nestor Cortez. It's not because he's the best pitcher. It's not because he's got an electric personality. It's just the whole package. He's a good pitcher. He makes other guys miss. He seems to be a great guy in the clubhouse. His teammates love him, and he looks like Super Mario.
He does look like Mario.
Like, have you seen the RotoWare shirt?
No.
Oh, you got to pull it up. Just search for Nestor Cortez Super Mario.
Oh, this is beautiful.
Yeah, like, I mean, how could it not be Nestor? It has to be Nestor.
And just that's so good.
Like, I mean,
yeah, that's a great pick. Was the starting pitcher that ended the Yankees winning streak, but
I don't blame him. I don't blame Nestor.
No, Nestor's great. I love Nestor. He's one of those Yankees I just can't hate. Like, I will never dislike a guy like Nestor Cortez. The mustache, the fact that he uses 18 windups over the course of the game. It's
He really does.
He's fantastic. I love Nestor Cortez. For
Who
me,
was your favorite Red Sox?
It was tough. There were really three guys that's stick out. Garrett Whitlock is one of them. I love that guy so much. But then it was between Bogey and Devers. But I had to go with the last remaining member of the 2013 World Series team. So I went with Xander Bogaerts. I love Xander Bogaerts. I can't wait to watch him play for any other team because it's just going to rip my heart out every single time I see him in a different uniform. The guy is not only one of the best shortstops in baseball and not talked about it enough in that conversation, by the way.
No, he's kind of an afterthought.
Yeah, like people will name, like, people were saying Trevor Story was better than Xander Bogaerts. I can tell you right now, he ain't. But
no, he's not.
Like, Xander's a top, at least top 5, if not top 3 or 4, sort of short, kind of shortstop in baseball. So I love him. He plays a premium position, obviously, and he just has so much fun. He's always got a smile on his face. He's been hitting the ball really well this year. He had one on a Lansdowne yesterday that, as soon as he hit it, he had a great bat flip too. I love everything about Xander Bogaerts, the X Factor. Just, I will always be a Xander Bogaerts fan. Now, who is your favorite player that isn't on the Yankees?
Byron Buxton.
Ooh.
I've loved Byron Buxton. I've loved the idea of Byron Buxton since I first heard about Byron Buxton.
Mm-hmm.
And the more I watched him play in the minors, and the more everything about him, it's not just a talent. I mean, he's a 5-tool player. Like, he's Trout, he is Harper. Like, he's on that level, talent-wise. But you listen to him talk, and he's just got that fire in him.
Yeah.
Where he's like, I know I'm hurt. I know I'm always hurt. He's like, I'm not changing the way I play.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it all I'm going to leave it all on the field. That's just how I'm wired. And, like, injuries be damned. Like, I'm going to do my best to stay healthy, but I'm not going to change the way I play because that's what makes me me. And thank God he's been pretty healthy this year. I mean, he missed a little bit of time. Not too bad.
No, it was only a few games. That could have been a lot worse. But
I
first saw it, they were playing the Red Sox, and when I first saw it, I was like, "Oh no, not again."
I thought the same thing, but he's just so much fun to watch, and he seems like such a good guy. His teammates love him. Like, I mean, I don't see anything that, aside from the injuries, which you really can't blame a player for. Like, as much as I dislike Jacoby Ellsbury, it's not because he was always hurt.
Yeah.
It's just because I think Jacoby Ellsbury was kind of a jerk.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, that's the impression that I got from him. But it's not because he was hurt. Like, you can't blame somebody who gets hurt.
Yeah.
Unless they're getting hurt because, I don't know, they punch a wall or they get pissed off and they punch a bench and they break their hand and they're out for a month and a half. Like,
then
okay,
you can be pissed at
then
him.
you can blame the guy for the injury. But if guy just keeps getting hurt because he's playing hard, like you can't get on a player for that. So yeah, like it's Buxton for me. Who do you got? Who's
For me,
who is it and why is it Aaron Judge?
it's not Aaron Judge.
Wow.
For me, for a long time, this was the Bryce Harper Award. I love Bryce Harper. I've always been a fan of Bryce Harper. I love the way he plays the game. I hate the overrated talk because he's a 2-time MVP. Shut up. The guy's a future Hall of Famer, and there's nothing we can do about it. And his first MVP was a historically good season. It wasn't just like, oh yeah, he had a fine season and won MVP. No, he was like 23 years old and hit 40 home runs with a 340 batting average, like stuff that only Ted Williams had done, basically. But it's not the Bryce Harper Award anymore because I've kind of cheated. This guy used to play for my favorite team and no longer does.
Here we go.
But he's my favorite player in baseball, and that's Andrew Benintendi.
Okay, I'll allow that. Why is it Andrew Benintendi?
I remember watching him at Arkansas, and he was my favorite college baseball player at the time, and I loved him. And then the Red Sox drafted him, and I couldn't have been happier. Like, I have always had this burning love for Andrew Benintendi. The guy, he plays the game hard. He's a great defender. I love his swing. I think he looks so smooth from the left side of the plate. I'm so happy he's succeeding more in Kansas City. He had a great second half of the year last year. He's off to a really hot start this year. There's just something about, he seems like such a nice guy. I miss when him and Brock Holt were on the Red Sox together and they were just the best of friends. If Brock Holt was an active player as well, he would also be in consideration for this award because I love Brock Holt.
Okay, I gotcha.
But there's just, he had the flow. He has the catch against the Astros in the ALCS to save the game. He's, like I say, he's got the beautiful left-handed swing. Everything about Andrew Benintendi I love. I said when he was in college, he was a guy that was going to win a batting title when he got to the major leagues. And I still think that could be the case. I think he's so talented. So it's Benny. I love the guy, and I wish the Red Sox still had him.
No, I could see that. And since you mentioned college baseball, we would be remiss, because I forgot about this, that Ben Joyce threw a pitch 105.5 miles an hour, and then 4 innings later, he was still throwing 103 miles an hour.
The guy's an animal.
He's not an animal. He's a freak. Like, he's a robot. You're not... Humans can't do that.
Also, if you're one of those guys on Twitter that watches those videos and you're like, oh, he's already on the wait list for Tommy John, shut up and stop wishing injury on guys.
Seriously. Like, don't put that shit in the universe.
Don't even say it. Don't even think it. The guy is so talented, and he's going to be fast-tracked to the majors as soon as he gets drafted. And he will be drafted high. I think it's next year. He's part of next year's draft.
Look,
class.
if I'm the Red Sox, there's my closer of the future.
Yeah.
And it's literally my closer as soon as he's drafted.
Yeah, and he could be one of those guys. Like, I'm not a huge bring a guy straight up from college to the majors.
If you can throw like that.
105 with good control and a good slider, by the way. I don't know if you've seen his breaking ball.
I have.
It's filthy.
Yes, it is.
Like, it's not like he's just throwing hard. He's got a great breaking ball, too. If there's a guy like that, fuck the minors. What's he going to do? Have a 0 ERA for 3 years? No. Bring him to the majors and see what he can do.
Enough with the manipulating service time shit. Just this guy can help you right now.
Mm-hmm.
So bring him up.
Yeah.
But
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah. When you said college, I was just like, oh, damn it. I knew there was something else.
Mm-hmm.
The other guy that would have been that was under consideration for me, aside from Buxton, two, Fernando Tatis Jr., who I can certainly be pissed off at for his stupid injury shit, because he is my keeper in my college, my fantasy league with my college buddies. Son of a bitch, he's going to cost me this season. I know it already. Like I should be 3-0. I'm 1-2, and it's because he's not my shortstop. So stop riding motorcycles, dummy. That's number one. And number two would be probably Shohei.
Yeah. I mean, both those are great picks too. All right.
And
Shohei.
Bryce is in the conversation too. Everything you said about him, I'm with you. Like I love Bryce Harper. I love his attitude. I love everything about it. But yeah. Anyway, that's it. What was the next category? I know there were more.
Yeah, the next category is a player that's grown on us. So, maybe you didn't love him when he first came up. Maybe you thought he was overrated. And then all of a sudden something happened and he became someone you really like.
Yeah, that's tough.
I can give mine if you want.
Yeah, do yours because I'm stuck between two guys and I got to pick one.
So this basically, I had to go between two former Cubs outfielders. The first one was Jorge Soler, because when he came up, I just thought, all right, flash in the pan. Let's see what this guy can really do. And then he proved me right for a couple of years. And, he didn't look like the guy that he was when he first came up. I thought there were way too many holes in his swing. Then he hit 49 home runs for the Royals and won a World Series MVP and continues just hitting absolute nukes like the one he hit for the Marlins the other day. So he's really grown on me. But the other one, and again, this may be because he played for my favorite team, is Kyle Schwarber. Schwarber, I thought the same thing when he came up. I was like, this guy's a catcher, but he can't catch. They want to move him to the outfield. Is he athletic enough to play the outfield? Like, there's a lot of holes in the swing, but, big power. We'll see what he turns out to be. Turns out he's one of the better pure power hitters in baseball. The guy's just an absolute slugger. Just hit 2 home runs off of Max Scherzer the other night, which is no easy task. So he really grew on me, and that happened before he went to the Red Sox. He grew on me even like when he was on the Nationals, really. I was like, wow, this guy is really, really good, isn't he? Then he went to the Red Sox, and Kyle from Waltham was born. And he was great. And there was when he flipped the ball to first to the pitcher covering first, and he completely airmailed him. And then he did it like an inning later and did a huge fist pump after he made the flip. Like, it was all that sort of stuff. I love Kyle Schwarber. He's also, my money is also on him to lead the National League in home runs. So Kyle, I know you're a big fan of the show, Kyle. If you're watching now or listening later, just know that.
Oh, yeah, no, I keep seeing someone comes in and comes out. I assume it's Schwarber in the dugout during the game.
Yeah. I've talked to Kyle a few times. He told me he'll piss off from the game for a little bit and tune into the streams.
Well, good. Maybe he can go find the damn Amazon driver with all my new shit that was supposed to be here yesterday. Like a light that actually shines a light.
Yeah, for me it's Schwarbs. Who is it for you?
For me, it's Francisco Lindor.
Ooh.
And I was convinced, because Lindor was coming up when I was in the heyday of my Bleacher Report writing. I was convinced that Francisco Lindor was overhyped, that he was going to be nothing more than a glove-first slap hitter who can steal some bases, had no pop. I didn't see it. I just didn't see what everyone was going nuts about. And even his first year in Cleveland, I was like, I'm not really impressed with this kid. Like, he's okay. What he hit 12 home runs, I think, his first year.
Something like that, yeah.
I was like, all right, like, 10, 12 home runs, like that doesn't really impress me, but all right, it's more than I thought he had, but that's probably his ceiling. And as time's gone on, like, he's just a complete ball player.
Yeah.
Hits for average, he hits for power, he's got speed, he plays a solid defense. Like, Lindor's the real deal. It took a little while, but he got me, and I'm a believer in Lindor. And he certainly, 243 batting average for the Mets this year isn't exactly tearing the cover off the ball, but it's early. I'm not worried about Lindor. He'll still be just fine. So that's my pick.
I like that. That's a good pick. A lot of people were thinking the same thing about Lindor when he first came up. Like I had similar thoughts. I was like, yeah, the guy's a great defender, but let's see what the bat turns into. And he's very much impressed me. I mean, that guy is tremendous.
I don't remember if I can find it. I will refer to it. I remember I did some prospect article, and I got absolutely shit on in the comments because I basically said, yeah, Indians fans are pegging their hopes on this guy, and he sucks.
Yeah, I can see why people might have shit on you a little bit for that.
You know.
Well,
to be fair, I didn't think anyone in Cleveland knew how to use a computer or had internet. So
when I think of Cleveland, I only think of the city that they show in Major League.
When I think of Cleveland, I think of the Drew Carey show. So
similar. The next award is our most underrated player in baseball.
It's easy. I mean, it's easy and it's hard because I feel like there are a lot of guys that are underrated. So that's what makes it difficult. I'm going with a guy who I have to double check. I don't know if he's played at all this year. I think he's been hurt. Let me just double check here. God damn, there's too many letters in his name. Will you come on, Baseball Reference, work? Oh, you son of a bitch. I have to. You suck. Sorry, Rick. You didn't put the space where it belongs. There we go. Yes, he has not played yet this year. I'm going with Tommy La Stella. I am a big Tommy La Stella fan. I have been since he was with the Angels. He's not a superstar. He's not an all-star. He's not a name that casual fans would know. But Tommy La Stella does a little bit of everything. He's got some power. He's got some speed. He can hit for average. He's just a solid all-around ball player. He's the kind of guy that you want on your team, but nobody ever talks about.
I like that.
And like I just love guys like that. Guys that just they keep their head down. They don't say much. They're good teammates. They're just like, hey, you need me, Skip? I'm going in, and they produce. You know, like he's I don't think he's ever once in 2018 he played 123 games. Like other than that, he's a guy who gets into like 70, 80 games a year. But I love everything about Tommy La Stella, so that's what I'm going with.
I have a Tommy La Stella autograph that I got for $1 at a card shop.
Wow. Wow, you just got autographs to everybody.
Oh yeah, I've got hundreds.
I have autographs, like I don't even know who I have. If I don't even know where the book is. Somewhere in my parents' basement. I have like an old school scrapbook when I was a kid. I'd write to the teams. Like, hey, sign my card. And like some of them would sign the card, some of them you'd never hear from. And then Jose Canseco sent me a fucking catalog.
Did he really?
Yeah, Jose Canseco sent me a catalog saying, yeah, you can have an autograph. It's $50. And my dad was so pissed. He was like, I will fucking murder this guy. I'm like, Dad, he's huge. I don't care.
You won't, Dad.
I'm like, Jose Canseco can rip you in half.
Yeah.
And like my dad's no slouch. Like he was an all SEC wrestler. Like he was legit. Wow. But sorry, Dad. Jose Canseco will kill you.
My most underrated player is a similar guy, but a little, he plays a little bit more. He's got a little bit more power. He's mainly underrated because he hits in the same lineup as Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Bo Bichette, all-star lineup, and that's Wartus Guriel Jr.
Love it. Love it.
Never gets talked about enough. He's going to hit 285. He's going to hit 20 home runs. He's going to drive in 85 runs. Like, it's just what he does. Like, that's just the type of player he is. And no one cares because he's like the 5th best hitter in the Blue Jays lineup. And he's the type of guy that every team should have.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I wasn't, when you said Vlad, I was like, is it Guriel or is it Teoscar? Because I feel like they're both completely overlooked.
Yeah, Teoscar Hernandez is another one. Like I thought about him for this as well. But yeah, so for me, I went with Guriel because he plays solid defense and left. He just does a little bit of everything, and every team needs a guy that can hit sixth in their lineup and just drive in runs. And when you're hitting behind guys like Vladdy and Bo, you're going to have plenty of opportunity to drive in runs, and he's going to do that on a consistent basis.
I love that pick. Great pick right there.
The next award is most overrated player in baseball.
There's so many overrated players in baseball. I'm going with Trevor Story.
Same.
Totally going with Trevor Story.
Yeah.
I said over the winter, I thought he sucked. I said leading up to the winter, I thought he sucked. I said during the lockout, I thought he sucked. I said he's a product of Coors Field. He is a fraud. And what have we seen in Boston? He's a fraud.
This isn't me being an overreactionary Red Sox fan after 30 games. Like, I just never thought the guy was that special.
He wasn't.
He had some great years in Coors Field. He's always been a bad hitter on the road. Not just a worse hitter than he was at home, because everyone's a worse hitter on the road. He was not a very good hitter on the road.
I don't remember what the numbers were, but I think it was something along the lines of his OPS was like, I want to say 185 points lower.
Yeah. It
was drastic.
It might even be more than that.
Yeah, it might have been more than that. I forget. Because actually, I think we talked about this on the Man-Child show last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, Trevor Story is just so overrated. And, well, he's a great defender. Not really. He's okay.
A good defender.
Yeah, he's a good defender. He's not Ozzie Smith.
Yeah.
It's not where you've got Ozzie or Omar Vizquel and their glove will make up for the fact that they can't hit. Like he's just not good.
They're the home and away splits for Trevor Story's career. So pretty much same amount of plate appearances, 32 more home runs at home. OPS is
over
220.
Yeah, I mean, just no thank you.
The guy on the road is a fine infielder. Like light hitting, decent defensive shortstop.
Yeah, but when you strike out as often as he does, you can't be a light hitting defensive shortstop.
Look at the OPS plus between the two. 50 points difference. The guy isn't that good.
No.
And I said on this show, I said on the Man-Child show, I said everywhere that I wish the Red Sox spent their money in any other way than signing Trevor Story.
Yeah, they had ample. It's not like Trevor Story was the only person they could have signed.
No, you could have signed every relief pitcher on the market.
Yeah, and maybe another starter or two.
Kenley Jansen, I tweeted out last night after Hansel Robles blew that save. Kenley Jansen was right there. I'm not even the world's biggest Kenley Jansen fan, but he would have been a hell of a lot better than whoever the hell we're rolling out in the ninth inning right now.
Well, I mean, it should be Garrett Whitlock, but it's not because he's arguably your best starter.
Yeah, it's not arguably. He is our best starter. As much as I love Eovaldi, right now it's Whitlock. The guy's given up 2 runs once this season, and that was yesterday when he gave up a 2-run home run. Like, the guy's filthy. But yeah, Trevor Story, he isn't that good. Every last one of you has been fooled by Trevor Story.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm glad we're on the same page.
So am I. Because I thought about it, and I'm going, why am I overthinking this? Like, it's Trevor Story. It's always been Trevor Story.
Mm-hmm. And the last one, the coveted Travis Ishikawa Award.
Okay, for people who don't know, why don't you explain
Yes.
a little bit?
So Travis Ishikawa, if there's anyone watching this that doesn't remember him, was a nobody. He was a bench bat for the Pirates, for the Giants, for a few teams, and just really never put it together in his career. Just a guy that bounced around a little bit. But then he had a walk-off home run in the NLCS for the San Francisco Giants to win the National League pennant over the St. Louis Cardinals in Game 5 of the 2014 NLCS. He became a folk hero along the lines of Bobby Thompson. The Giants win the pennant. It's one of the great calls ever that Joe Buck once again ripped off when Travis Ishikawa hit the home run. That's part of why I don't like Joe Buck. All he does is rip off better calls. He's ripped off like half of his dad's calls, and it pisses me off because Jack Buck was amazing, and Joe Buck is not great. But he won the pennant for the Giants. So this award goes to a guy that we think, one at bat. We will always remember this guy. It could be one game. It could be one season, really, if you wanted to go that route. My pick is a guy that had a really good season, but I remember him from one moment. So, and Rick, if you would like to, while you're setting yours up, we've got a little private chat here. If you want to send to me who it is and why in the private chat, I will get a YouTube video up of the moment.
Oh. Let me see if I can remember how to do that. Oh, there's a private chat. I click on the thing that says private chat.
Yes. But yeah, and then we will discuss and show the moment to all of you.
Pick one.
That's interesting.
Because it's basically 2 months.
Yeah, and I've got a video up here that I will share.
This is a man that John Sterling, before he completely lost his vision and his mind, was dubbed the home run dispenser. It's Shane Spencer. Shane Spencer, for people that don't understand how freakish this man was, in 54 plate appearances beginning in September of 1998, Shane Spencer hit 10 home runs, including 3 grand slams, and then he added 2 more home runs in the American League Division Series. Now, if that wasn't enough, none of those were his most memorable moment. That was not his most memorable moment. His most memorable moment was catching a fly ball off the bat of Tony Gwynn in the World Series, because Tony Gwynn was his favorite player, and then that offseason being in a golf foursome with Brad Ausmus and Tony Gwynn, and having Gwynn come up to him and saying, "Oh, hey, man, thanks for taking presents away from my kids this Christmas."
Wow.
So it's Shane Spencer, because he's a god in the Bronx, because that was one of the most spectacular 2-month runs anyone's ever had.
Look at that. April 10th to August 4th of 98, 3 for 17 with 0 home runs and 2 RBIs.
Yep, and people were just like, whatever. And then he came back, and he was Babe Ruth and Mickey Mantle rolled into one.
That's a great pick.
And he was, look at him. He's built like a freaking tree.
Yeah.
This is 1998. I know it was steroids and stuff, but the Yankees didn't have guys like this.
Mm-hmm.
This was when Bernie was, Bernie and Tio were our big home run guys.
Yeah.
We didn't have this. And then, Shane Spencer, he was so good.
I love Tori's face, too. He's utter disbelief at what he's seeing.
Yeah, like, I'm not impressed, kid. Whatever. And yeah, I know that Shane Spencer wound up playing for 7 years. But that 2-month period from September through October was just, it's historic. It's legendary in the Bronx.
That is a fantastic pick. I really had no idea where you were going to go with that. It was one of those things when I told you about it. I was like, let's see what Rick does here.
It's funny, out of all those awards, that was the easiest one. As soon as you said it and you explained it, I was like, oh, that's easy. Like, that was almost as easy as Mattingly.
This, same for me. Like, it was favorite player of all time and the Travis Ishikawa Award are 1 and 2 in terms of ease, in terms of, like, thinking of who it was. The day was April 20th, 2013. The venue was Fenway Park. It was the first game being played at Fenway after the Boston Marathon bombings. And the Kansas City Royals were visiting Fenway Park. I was home sick from school and definitely didn't want to just watch an 11 a.m. Red Sox game. Because this was
Patriots Day?
It was being played at 11 a.m. as a makeup for Patriots Day.
Okay, right.
So they were making it up for Patriots Day, and this man, Daniel Nava, came to the plate and delivered one of the greatest moments in Red Sox history.
Nava hits it in the air to right field. Francoeur going back. He's at the wall. Boston, this is for you.
A go-ahead 3-run home run in the 8th inning put the Red Sox up 5-3. I remember it like it was yesterday. I was eating a chocolate chip cookie, which knocked a crown out of my mouth that I had on my tooth since I was 5 years old. Turns out there was no adult tooth there. I still have the gap in my teeth from when that crown was knocked out 9 years ago. And Daniel Nava was an integral part of that 2013 World Series team. I want to say he hit like 315 that year. He had easily his best season in the majors. But that moment for me is something that I will remember until the day I die, because that was the day on April 20th, 2013, that I knew the Boston Red Sox were going to win the World Series.
That is a phenomenal pick. Absolutely phenomenal pick. I forgot Daniel Nava was a thing until just now. And I forgot that Jeff Francoeur was a thing until you just played that clip.
And also the call by Don Orsillo, who, Nesson, I don't know what you did, but fix it. Make up with Don Orsillo.
And then, I mean, how they fucked him with the Jerry Rent, like, it's just not okay.
I don't know what happened there. No one knows what happened there outside of the executives at Nesson and Don Orsillo himself. Maybe Jerry Remy knew before he passed away, but I don't know what happened there. Fix it. Don Orsillo, to me, is the voice of Red Sox baseball. You know,
you got a whole generation of Red Sox fans.
Yeah, and I don't hate Dave O'Brien. Like, a lot of Red Sox fans hate Dave O'Brien. I kind of like him. I think he's fun. He's not Don Orsillo, and that's his biggest crime.
Well, that's just it. That's why people hate him, because he's not the guy that he's replacing.
Yeah. But just the Boston, this is for you. Like, it's such a simple and such a perfect call on a day that was so emotional. That was the same day David Ortiz came out and said, "This is our fucking city." Like, it was an unbelievable day, which, by the way, watching that on live television, there was no delay that day for whatever reason. So that was not censored over the air. And it's just one of those moments, like I said, after the Red Sox won that game, I sat there and I said, the Boston Red Sox just won the World Series. And then Koji Uehara strikes out Matt Carpenter in Game 6. and the Red Sox win the World Series, and I cried like a fucking baby.
Did you cry more at that point or when you got the Ted Williams gift?
I probably the 2013 World Series. I'm very much a crier when my team wins a championship. No more than when the Eagles won the Super Bowl in 2017. That one I was an absolute mess because I never thought I was going to see the Eagles win the Super Bowl. I was convinced we were cursed and that it was just never going to happen for me. But yeah, I am a crier when my team wins a championship. So it was definitely 2013. And that's the Red Sox World Series I've cried at the most too, because I remember 04 and 07. I remember 07 more, but I do remember 04. It's just I wasn't as invested as I was by the time 2013 rolled around and everything that happened to the city of Boston that year. And I've never felt more proud to be a Red Sox fan.
No, I get it. I get it. I have a lot of friends in Boston who, same thing. They were like, that's the proudest I've ever been to be a Red Sox fan and to be from Boston.
And I would say,
no, I get it.
I would say that's a more important World Series win than 2004 as well. It was great to break the curse, but 2013 I think is the most important Red Sox World Series I'll ever see, and that any Red Sox fan will ever see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to argue with you about it. I don't know that there's a correct answer. I mean, there's no right or wrong answer with that. But
no,
great pick, absolutely phenomenal pick with Daniel Nava. Love it. That's awesome.
But those are the awards. Those are all of them.
So let's get an update on the Mets shellacking. It was 5-0 last we checked. It is 7-0 now. But it's only the top of the fifth. So Taiwan Walker still in the game. Interesting.
Man, they're
let's see.
Their bullpen must be.
Yeah, they must be spent. Kyle Schwarber, your boy, 1 for 2 with a walk, a strikeout, and 2 runs scored. Bryce Harper, your other boy, 2 for 3 with 2 ribbies, 2 runs scored, a double and a home run.
I just have something very important I would like to share quickly. And we'll do that, and then we'll do that.
Oh, and that one is belted to deep left field, and that baby is gone. That one is belted to deep.
I love those juiced ball video memes, man. Those are so funny.
Yeah, those are very good.
That was from, I think that was from John Boy. It was from Talking Baseball. So yeah, it's from John Boy.
Yeah, it's not the same thing. That's fantastic. Yeah, I was like, wait a second, did I just see that go off of his ass, or am I just really
that's the Sean Murphy, the ball going off of his dump truck ass that went viral a few weeks ago.
I don't know if Josh is still here, but Jeff Passan tweeted this an hour ago, and this is specific for Josh. The Cincinnati Reds are now 3-22. They have scored an NL worst 79 runs. If they doubled that, it would still be fewer runs than they've allowed, 166. Their 6.9 ERA is a full 2 runs worse than the next worst team. Not nice at all. This is tanking at its absolute ugliest. I would argue this is tanking at its absolute greatest.
That's unbelievable. Do you say 6.9 ERA?
Yes.
They give up 7 runs a game.
And to add insult to insult, as Jeff continues, the Reds have only a 16.5% chance at the number 1 overall pick in 2023 because of the new lottery. Even worse, teams cannot receive lottery picks in 3 straight seasons. So if Cincy doesn't try to win by 2025, the earliest it picks is 7th.
Oh man.
I am so sorry to all the Reds fans.
I am too, man. I mean, that organization's turned into such a fucking joke so quickly.
Yep. That's amazing. That is absolutely mind-boggling. Almost as mind-boggling as the fact that we've gotten through 22 shows.
Yeah.
And we started in a lockout
Yeah.
where there was absolutely no baseball.
I don't know how we've done it, man.
Neither do I. Will we make it to 23? Will we make it to 30? You'll have to come back next week to find out. Thank you, as always, for joining us. Make sure you follow us on the socials, which are down there, even though my hand is disappearing. Down there somewhere. Mark, take us out.
Yeah, like you said, follow us on socials. My Twitter is at marker_box. Rick's Twitter is at RickWienerNY. And the show's Twitter is at box_score_pod. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Twitch. Follow us on Spotify. If you are going to follow us on Spotify or Google Podcasts, make sure to leave a 5-star review. We would like this to get more off the ground at some point. But just make sure to leave a like on the video too if you're watching it. That really helps in the algorithm. And we will see you all next week. Peace out.